I'm glad you chose to share your night with me, kind and gentle soul. Now you are alone, and there is nothing you need to think about. Just like everything else, you too deserve this time to rest. There is no need to rush. There is nothing to fear, nothing to catch up with, nowhere you need to be. This moment is for silence, for relaxation, for calm. You are enough, and everything you have is enough. Come back to the present moment. Breathe in what is beautiful. And as you breathe out, let go of the past and soften. A flexible life is a celebration. And right now, you are invited to celebrate. Gently stretch. Slowly soften your body. Allow yourself to relax. You are precious beyond measure. A flower does not compete with the flowers beside it. It simply blooms. This is your time to relax. Your time to bloom. Trust your body. It is strong, and it knows exactly what it's doing. Be compassionate with yourself. This is the moment to offer yourself full kindness. There is no greater wealth than a peaceful mind. Right now, you are expanding that wealth. Let your mind loosen. Let it wander freely. You've noticed the calm. You feel content in this moment, free from worry. You are here only for yourself, and that is something truly beautiful. Taking this time for yourself is a gift. You are gently drawing peace and happiness toward you. Now it's time to love yourself. Make sure you are comfortable in the bed you're resting in. Slowly allow your back and your entire body to release. Clear your mind. Let it empty. Let the weight of the day dissolve. There may be tension in your arms and legs from the day. Gently allow yourself to soften. Your shoulders may be holding fatigue. Let them drop. Let them rest. there is nothing left to carry, nowhere left to run. Invite your body into calm. There's no need to use facial expressions anymore. Let every muscle in your face relax. There's no expression needed other than sleep. Release your forehead. Imagine two gentle fingers, starting at the bridge of your nose, moving slowly upward between your eyebrows, traveling across your forehead. Then soft hands spreading across your temples, pulling gently to the left and right. At your temples, imagine soft fingertips making slow, circular motions. If you feel like it, you may gently massage your face this way, only if it feels good to you. Now imagine gentle circular motions along your neck as well, easing even deeper layers of tension, freeing your mind even more. As you continue to soften and drift toward sleep, let's move gently into a beautiful story. In the early morning hours, you're driving slowly along the misty roads of the Scottish Highlands. Soft fog drifts across the landscape, blurring the edges of hills and valleys. You look out through the window, and in the distance, a small town appears, resting quietly in the valley. This is Inverary, a peaceful town beside the calm waters of Loch Fyne, known for its whitewashed 18th century houses. From afar, it feels like a storybook village, gently placed between land and water. As you enter the town, your eyes are drawn to Inverary Castle. Its Gothic towers rise softly through the mist, calm and unhurried. The fog wraps around the stone, slowing time rather than hiding it. Inside, the air is cool and still. Old swords and antique rifles rest quietly on the walls, arranged with care. Your footsteps echo gently along the stone corridors. In the great hall, heavy velvet curtains move just slightly, as if the building itself is breathing. You return to the main street and step into a small cafe. The windows are fogged, the warmth inside comforting. You sip a cup of Earl Grey tea, watching seagulls glide above the harbour. Small boats rock gently on the water, perfectly at ease. The journey continues north, toward Fort William. The road carries you through Glencoe Valley, wide and dramatic, yet deeply calm. Tall mountains rise on either side, their slopes softened by drifting cloud. The past here feels distant now, resting quietly within the land. You pull over and step outside. Cool, clean air touches your face. There are no houses, no voices, only mountains and open space. A deep sense of calm settles within you. As evening approaches, you arrive at Donnan Castle. It stands gracefully where three lochs meet, resting on a small island. A narrow stone bridge connects it to the shore, guiding you slowly forward. As you cross the bridge, you hear water flowing softly beneath your feet. Inside, the castle feels warm and welcoming. Wooden furniture, a quiet fireplace, tartan fabrics lining the walls. Everything feels cared for, gentle, familiar. A caretaker shares soft stories of the castle's long life, how it was built, lost, and carefully brought back again. Each stone placed with patience and respect. You climb to the highest tower. From here, three lochs stretch out in different directions. Loch Duich, Loch Long and Loch Alsh. The sun begins to set. The sky turns soft shades of pink, orange, and deep purple. Those colors drift across the water, slowly, peacefully. And as the light fades, everything becomes still, leaving only calm, breath, and rest. As night falls, you settle into a small, quiet guest house. Your room is tucked beneath the roof, with warm wooden beams overhead. The bed is soft and welcoming. As you slip beneath the blanket, the weight of the day slowly melts away. Outside, a gentle wind moves through the night. Raindrops tap softly against the window. Steady, calm, comforting. That night, Scotland drifts into your dreams. Misty valleys, stone bridges, ancient towers rising through the fog. Everything feels timeless, as if you've stepped into an old, whispered fairy tale. Morning arrives quietly. Soft light slips through the window and rests on the walls. Birdsong rises from outside, light and peaceful. Downstairs, your host has prepared a traditional Scottish breakfast. Warm oat porridge, smoked salmon, eggs, thick slices of bread spread gently with honey. You sip hot tea and gaze toward the distant mountains. A new day, unhurried, waiting. You set off again, and by midday, you reach the Isle of Skye. You cross a modern bridge, knowing that long ago, this island could only be reached by boat. Sky feels vast, ancient, quietly magical. Your first stop is Portree, the island's small capital. Colorful houses line the harbor, pink, yellow, blue, green. They look almost hand-painted, like a gentle drawing from childhood. Boats rock slowly in the water as seagulls glide above. You enjoy lunch at a small seafood restaurant by the harbor. Fresh lobster, melted butter. Simple, rich, unforgettable. Walking along the water, you meet an old fisherman. With a thick Scottish accent, he tells you stories. Some people here still speak Gaelic, he says. And long ago, many believed in selkies. Sea people who could shed their seal skins and walk on land. He smiles softly, as if some still believe. In the afternoon, you visit Dunvegan Castle. For over 800 years, it has been the home of the MacLeod clan. It stands high on a cliff, watching the sea below. Inside, the guide shows you its greatest treasure, the fairy flag. A faded, yellowed piece of cloth, carefully protected behind glass. Legend says it was a gift from the fairies. If waved 3 times, it would protect the clan in times of danger. Only one use remains. You wander through the castle gardens. Ancient trees stand quietly, their roots deep in the earth. Near a stone wall, you notice a Viking-era gravestone. Its carvings are worn, but still visible, still remembered. The air is calm, time feels slow, and your body begins to rest once more, ready to drift gently into sleep. As evening approaches, you make your way to the Old Man of Store. The island's most iconic formation rises before you, a towering stone figure reaching toward the sky. Smaller rocks stand nearby, as if quietly keeping it company. You begin walking along the path. The climb is steep, but the view grows more breathtaking with every step. Dry grass rustles beneath your feet. The wind strengthens, brushing past you with steady force. At last, you reach the base of the rocks. Up close, they feel immense, almost unreal. Their surfaces carry the marks of centuries. Rain, wind, snow. And in the cracks, soft moss has found a home. You turn around, and words fade away. Below you, the sea stretches out in deep blue calm. Clouds race across the sky, casting moving patterns of light and shadow across the hills. Far away, more mountains, more valleys, endless and quiet. You sit down to rest. The wind moves through your hair. There is no one else here, just you and these ancient stones. A deep calm settles within you, as if you're touching the silence from the very beginning of the world. That night, you stay in a small village in the north of the island. Your host has lit a peat fire, Scotland's traditional fuel. The scent is smoky, earthy, grounding. You sit by the fireplace, warming your hands. Outside, darkness has fully arrived. Through the window, the sky is filled with stars. There is no light pollution here. You can even see the Milky Way, a silver river flowing gently across the sky. As you lie down in bed, the distant sound of the sea reaches you, waves meeting the rocks, steady, rhythmic, soothing. Your eyes grow heavy. In your dreams, you see fairy flags, ancient castles, towering stones. The Isle of Skye wraps around you like a warm, protective blanket. You wake early, just before sunrise. Outside, the world rests in soft twilight. From the window, the eastern sky slowly turns pink, then gold. The sea is calm, smooth as glass. You dress quietly and step outside. You walk along the shore. Shells and colorful stones scatter the sand beneath your feet. You bend down and pick one up. Greenish, smooth, cool with seawater. You place it in your pocket, a small memory to keep. After breakfast, it's time to leave. Today, you'll return to the mainland and travel toward Loch Ness. But first, one final place. The fairy pools. You arrive at a small parking area. A gentle walking path begins ahead. As you move forward, the Quilin Mountains rise before you, sharp peaks touching the clouds. After 15 minutes, you see the first pool. And what a pool it is! Crystal clear water, glowing turquoise. It flows between the rocks, forming small waterfalls. The water is so clear you can see every stone below. You dip your hand into the water, ice cold, but impossibly pure. You bring a little to your lips. The taste is lightly sweet, the taste of the mountains themselves. You continue upward along the path. Every few steps, another pool, another cascade. Some small, some wide and deep. Sunlight passes through the water, painting gentle patterns across the stones below. Legends say fairies once bathed here. In this moment, it feels easy to believe. You sit down on a rock and listen. Water flowing, soft, constant, hypnotic. Your eyes close. You simply listen. Time slows, then disappears as you drift deeper into rest. In the afternoon, you arrive at Urquhart Castle. It stands quietly along the shores of Loch Ness, resting in a perfectly chosen, strategic position. Only ruins remain now. But even so, the castle feels powerful and unforgettable. The castle was built in the 13th century. Over the centuries, it changed hands again and again. Between the Scots and the English, it endured countless sieges. In 1692, parts of it were deliberately burned and destroyed, so it could never be used by the enemy. You walk slowly among the ruins. Only stone walls remain. Empty window frames open to the sky. But your imagination fills in the gaps. That corner must have been the kitchen. Here, the great hall. Over there, guards once stood watch. You climb to the highest tower. From here, Loch Ness stretches out before you. Long, narrow, and incredibly deep. At its deepest point, over 750 feet. The water is dark, almost black. There are no waves. It looks heavy, like liquid stone. The guide speaks softly. They say a creature lives in Loch Ness, Nessie. The first written sightings date back to the 6th century. There's no scientific proof. But the lake is so deep. Perhaps there are still things we don't understand. You gaze out across the water. A small ripple appears on the surface. Just the wind. Of course. Still, for a brief moment, you let your imagination wander. By evening, you arrive in Inverness, often called the capital of the Highlands. The River Ness flows gently through the city. You cross its bridges, moving from one bank to the other. You wander through the old town. Stone-paved streets. Music drifting out from pubs. You step inside one. Warm. Lively. Welcoming. The walls are decorated in traditional Scottish style. Antlers, old weapons, clan banners. You take a seat in a quiet corner. You order haggis with mashed potatoes, and a glass of Scotch whisky. A small glass of water comes with it. You add a few drops, just enough to open the aromas. You take your first sip. A gentle warmth spreads through your throat. Then flavors of smoke, oak, honey, and peat. The warmth slowly flows through your body, calming and grounding you. At the nearby table, an older man sits alone. He starts a conversation. His name is Angus. He's lived in Inverness his entire life. He tells you stories of Bonnie Prince Charlie arriving here in 1745, of the Battle of Culloden, of the fall of the clan system. This land has known a lot of blood, he says quietly, but it's also known hope. The Scots were never truly defeated. We may have lost battles, but we never lost our spirit. His eyes shine with quiet pride. Later that night, you return to your hotel room. You're tired, but deeply content. You leave the window slightly open. The sound of the river drifts in, along with distant music from the city. You lie down in bed. Today was full. Fairy pools, ancient castles, deep lakes, living cities. Your eyes slowly close. In your dreams, turquoise waters flow. Stone towers rise toward the sky, and mysterious shadows move beneath the dark surface of the loch. The spirit of Scotland surrounds you, gentle, ancient, protective, as you drift deeper into sleep. You wake with the morning sun. From your hotel window in Inverness, you watch the River Ness flowing gently below. Early rowers glide across the water, their oars dipping in and out, creating a soft, rhythmic sound. At breakfast, you enjoy a traditional Scottish porridge, warm and comforting, sweetened with honey and raspberries, finished with just a small pinch of salt. Simple, nourishing, calming. Your route for the day is ready. As you drive, the landscape slowly changes. The mountains soften. The valleys grow greener. You follow the banks of the River Spey, Scotland's fastest flowing river. Its clear water rushes joyfully between rocks, alive and sparkling. Your first stop is Cawdor Castle. This is the place named in Shakespeare's Macbeth, though the real castle was built centuries later. Still, the atmosphere feels unmistakably magical. As you approach, you see the moat and the thick stone walls. But there are gardens too. lavender, roses, colorful shrubs. A perfect blend of medieval strength and gentle elegance. Inside, the first thing you notice is a tree in the central tower. Yes, a tree. The castle was built around it in 1372. Legend says the owner dreamed of a donkey resting beneath a tree. When he found that tree in real life, he chose to build his castle there. The roots still remain, protected beneath glass. You wander through the rooms. Four-poster beds, tapestries on stone walls, old portraits watching silently. In one room, spears and shields line the walls. In another, 17th century toys, carved wooden horses and cloth dolls. Outside, you step into the gardens. A hedge maze waits for you. You enter, turn, wander, lose your way for a while. Then, at last, the center. A statue surrounded by lavender. Bees hum softly in the warm air. By evening, you arrive in Elgin, a small, charming town. In the main square stand the ruins of Elgin Cathedral. Once, this was Scotland's most magnificent cathedral, built in the 13th century. But in 1390, Alexander Stewart, known as the Wolf of Badenoch, set it on fire after a dispute with a bishop. The flames destroyed almost everything. You walk among the ruins. Stone arches stretch toward the sky. Doorways stand without doors. Through empty windows, you can see the clouds drifting past. There is a strange beauty here. The evening light touches the stones, turning them gold. Moss clings to the walls. Birds nest in quiet alcoves. You stand where the main nave once was. You close your eyes. You imagine the past. Choir voices. Organ music. Hundreds of glowing candles. Now there is only wind and birdsong. Yet the place still feels sacred. That night, you stay at a small inn. The building dates back to the 16th century. Low ceilings, crooked beams. You climb a narrow wooden staircase, each step softly creaking. Your room is simple but comfortable. Heavy curtains, an old wardrobe, a soft bed. You open the window. Cool night air drifts in, clean and refreshing. As you lie down, you reflect on the day. So many moments. Castles, gardens, cathedral ruins, each one a piece of Scotland, each one a story. Your eyes grow heavy. From far away, a faint melody reaches you. Perhaps someone playing a pipe, or perhaps only the wind. In your dreams, copper stills glow softly. Whiskey barrels rest in silence, and cathedral towers rise gently toward the sky. You drift deeper into sleep, carried by the quiet rhythm of Scotland. You wake to the sound of birdsong. Outside your window, the rooftops of Elgin appear through the misty morning air. Church bells ring in the distance, soft, melodic, unhurried. Downstairs, breakfast is ready. In the small dining room, the smell of freshly baked bread fills the air. Homemade jams, butter, eggs. The elderly innkeeper smiles as she pours you a cup of tea. "Where are you heading today?" she asks. "To the northern coast," you reply. Her eyes light up. "But the ocean," she says softly. "That's where you find your soul." You set out on the road. It leads north, toward the Murray Firth. The scenery changes again. Farmland, wheat fields, round hay bales resting in the sun. Then, slowly, you begin to see the sea. Blue, vast, endless. Your first stop is Findhorn Village, a tiny fishing village with only a few dozen homes. Colorful boats sway gently in the small marina. You walk along the harbor. Fishing nets are spread out to dry. Seagulls call overhead. You meet a fisherman, hands rough and weathered, face shaped by sun and wind. He shows you the day's catch: fresh haddock, crab, lobster. Silver scales shimmer in the light. "We've been fishing here for centuries," he says. "My grandfather, and his grandfather before him. The sea is our life, sometimes harsh, but always honest." You walk to the beach at the edge of the village. Golden sand stretches out before you, marked only by your footprints. Waves roll in gently. You take off your shoes and step into the water. Cold, but awakening. The sand shifts beneath your feet with every step. Then you see them, dolphins in the distance. Their backs rise above the surface and disappear again. 3, 4, maybe 5. They move like a dance across the waves. Your heart lifts. Nature feels so close, so free. By midday, you arrive in Berghead. Once, this was a Pictish settlement. The Picts were Scotland's mysterious early people, living here between the 4th and 9th centuries. They created their own symbols, their own language. Then, slowly, they faded from history. On the hill above Berghead are the remains of a Pictish fort. Only earthworks remain now, but the view is breathtaking. The village on one side, the ocean on the other. A small museum nearby displays carved Pict stones. Strange symbols cover them. Bears, eagles, fish, geometric shapes. Their meanings are still unknown. Religion, family marks, stories. No one can say for sure. You pause before one stone. A bull is carved into its surface. Strong, detailed, alive. Someone carved this 1,500 years ago with hands, patience, care. That person is gone now. Their language is gone. Their world is gone. But the stone remains, a silent witness. In the afternoon, you arrive at Culloden battlefield. This is one of Scotland's most sorrowful places. April 16th, 1746. The Jacobite forces, led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, fought their final battle here against the British government army. The battle lasted less than an hour. More than 1,500 Scots were killed. The clan system was broken. Hopes of independence faded away. Inside the visitor center, you watch a short film. It recreates the day. Muddy ground, fog, cannon fire, clashing swords. Your eyes grow heavy with emotion. You step out onto the battlefield. A wide, open plain. The wind moves gently through the grass. Clan graves lie scattered. Simple stone markers. Clan Mackintosh, Clan Fraser, Clan Stewart. You pause at each one. Fresh flowers rest nearby. Small Scottish flags flutter softly. They are still remembered, still honored. You stand at the center of the field. Silence surrounds you. Only the wind remains. You close your eyes and imagine that day. Fear, hope, courage, loss, All of it rests in the soil beneath you. You pick up a small stone and place it beside one of the graves. A simple gesture of respect. You offer a quiet prayer. No religion required. Just gratitude and remembrance. Your breathing slows. The land grows quiet again, and gently, you carry its stillness with you into rest. In the evening, you return to Inverness. You walk through the city centre, but this time, you see it differently. Every street holds history. Every building carries a story. You pass by Inverness Castle. The current building dates to the 19th century, but castles have stood on this hill for centuries. It's said that Macbeth's original castle once stood here, though no trace remains now. You step into the Victorian market, a covered market with a glass roof, warm and atmospheric. Small shops line the corridors. Antiques, handmade jewelry, tartan fabrics, quiet souvenir stalls. You pause at one shop. Silver jewelry is displayed carefully. Celtic knots, ancient Scottish symbols. You choose a small necklace, a triple spiral, the Celtic triskelion. It can mean earth, water, and air, or past, present, and future, or birth, life, and death. The meaning is gentle and open. For dinner, you settle into a small restaurant. You order Cullen's skink, a creamy soup made with smoked haddock. Warm, comforting. Then Scottish beef, served with potatoes and carrots. Each bite carries something familiar. Birth, sea, history. Later that night, you return to your hotel room. You're tired, but full. Today you saw dolphins, touched ancient symbols, and stood quietly on a battlefield. You lie down on the bed. The window is slightly open. City sounds drift in. Distant cars. Occasional laughter. Scotland is no longer just a place you've seen. You feel it now. On your skin. In your heart. In your spirit. Your eyes close. In your dreams, waves meet the shore. Dolphins leap. Ancient warriors walk softly, and stones begin to speak. Early the next morning, you wake again. Today is special. You're traveling to Edinburgh. Scotland's capital. And there, rising above the city on a hill, Edinburgh Castle is waiting. As you approach the city, you see it, perched atop a volcanic rock, standing boldly against the sky. Dark stone walls, towers, battlements, a symbol of power and history, more than 1,000 years old. You begin the climb upward. You walk along the Royal Mile, a medieval street paved with stone, narrow and alive. Bagpipes play softly. Tourists take photos. Shops open their doors. You reach the castle gates. Massive wooden doors stand before you, carved with Scotland's coat of arms. The lion, the unicorn, the sword. You step inside. As you enter the first courtyard, your breath catches. Stone walls rise all around you. Above, the sky is a deep, open blue. Cannons line the battlements. Old, weathered, yet still proud. Then you see Mons Meg, a massive cannon from the 15th century. So large, a person could fit inside its barrel. Legend says its cannonball could travel nearly 2 miles. Now it rests in silence, quiet, yet still powerful. Your steps slow. The stone beneath your feet feels steady. History surrounds you, and gently, your breathing softens as the castle watches on. You move deeper into the castle, toward the royal palace apartments. This was once the home of Scotland's kings and queens. You pass through narrow corridors, climb worn stone staircases, each step slow and steady. You enter Queen Mary's apartments. These rooms belong to Mary, Queen of Scots, who lived here in the 16th century. The walls are lined with dark wooden panels. The ceiling is low. The room is small, simple, yet heavy with history. A guide speaks softly, almost in a whisper. Mary was here while she was pregnant, when a terrible betrayal unfolded nearby. Her secretary, David Rizzio, was taken from this room. Mary was forced to witness it. The memory lingered with her for the rest of her life. You stand quietly. The room is silent now, yet it feels as though the walls remember, as though they still hold faint echoes of that long, fearful night. You walk toward the window. Below you, Edinburgh stretches outward. Rooftops, chimneys, church towers. Mary once stood here too, looking out at the same city. Perhaps she felt fear, or anger, or deep uncertainty. The answers drift away, like mist. You continue on, and enter the great hall, a vast medieval space, its ceiling held high by wooden beams. Along the walls, weapons are carefully arranged. Swords, spears, shields, early firearms, hundreds of them, forming quiet, repeating patterns. Light filters in through stained glass windows. Soft colors spill onto the stone floor, moving gently as the light shifts. Your footsteps echo, slow, measured. This was once a banquet hall. Long tables filled the space. Kings, nobles, and knights gathered here. There was laughter, music, warmth from great fireplaces. Now the hall is empty, yet your imagination fills it easily. The air feels calm. History rests peacefully around you. And as you stand there, your breathing becomes slower, deeper, more relaxed. You arrive at the most sacred place of all, the crown jewels room. You walk through a dim corridor, and then step into a softly lit chamber. Inside a glass case, they wait. You see the crown of Scotland, made of gold, set with precious stones. A small cross rising at its peak. It was created in 1540. For centuries, it rested on the heads of kings. Light touches the gold, and it glows gently. Beside it lie the sword and the scepter. The sword is silver, its handle inlaid with gold. The scepter shines warmly, marked with the figure of Saint Andrew. These were used in royal ceremonies, symbols of power, duty, and responsibility. And then, you notice the most powerful object of all, the Stone of Destiny, a simple block of reddish sandstone, warm, plain, with iron rings at its sides. For over 1,000 years, Scottish kings were crowned upon this stone. Long ago, it was taken away, kept far from home for centuries, and finally, it returned. You look at the stone quietly, so modest, yet carrying the weight of countless vows, dreams, and hopes. In the afternoon, you make your way down through the city to Holyrood Palace. This is the official Scottish residence of the British royal family. When the monarch comes to Scotland, this is where they stay. Unlike the castle, Holyrood feels graceful, elegant, refined, built in the 17th century. Its pale stone walls and balanced windows reflect calm and order. You enter through the main doors into the state apartments. Each room feels like a work of art. The throne room glows with deep red velvet and soft gold details. Crystal chandeliers hang above. The throne stands elevated, bearing the combined symbols of Scotland and England. Whoever sits there must feel the weight of history. The dining room holds a long table set for many guests. Portraits of former kings line the walls. Fine porcelain, silver cutlery, crystal glasses. Everything feels intentional, carefully arranged. In the evening drawing room, guests once gathered for tea and conversation. Green silk walls, French-style furniture, windows opening to Holyrood Park, rolling hills and open sky. And then, you reach the most intimate place of all, the rooms of Mary, Queen of Scots. Once again, Mary. You climb a narrow staircase. These rooms feel different, simpler, more personal. Her bedchamber holds a four-poster bed, heavy curtains, and embroidered fabrics. They say Mary stitched some of them herself, patiently, carefully, thread by thread. A guide speaks softly. Long ago, a tragic betrayal unfolded nearby. Mary witnessed the loss of someone close to her. While she was frightened and vulnerable, the moment left a deep mark on her life. You stand in the audience room. Wooden ceiling. A small fireplace. A quiet space. On the floor, a simple marker remembers what happened here. You look down. History is no longer distant. It feels close. real, human. As evening falls, you walk through the palace gardens. Holyrood Park stretches wide and peaceful. Above it rises Arthur's Seat, an ancient volcano, now soft with grass. The sun sets slowly. The sky fills with pinks, purples, warm oranges. The palace grows darker, its windows lighting up one by one. You sit on a bench, tired, but full. Today you saw crowns, thrones, beauty, and quiet sorrow. Palaces are not just buildings. They hold lives, love, loss, and memory. Your eyes begin to close. In your dreams, crowns shimmer, corridors stretch on, and ancient stones begin to whisper. When morning comes, you leave Edinburgh behind. The city slowly fades, but its towers and hearts remain gently in your mind. Today you travel west, toward Stirling. Along the way, the landscape softens. Rolling hills, green valleys. The river Forth flows beside you, like a silver ribbon through the land. In the distance, you see it, Stirling Castle, rising from the top of a high rock, reaching toward the sky. As you draw closer, its importance becomes clear. This is not just a castle. This place once decided the fate of a nation. There is an old saying, whoever controls Stirling controls Scotland. You cross the stone bridge and approach the gate. Thick walls, arrow slits, openings for cannons. This fortress was built for defense. Inside, you step into the outer courtyard, a wide, open space. Historic buildings surround you, barracks, armories, a small chapel. But ahead, the heart of beauty waits, the royal palace. Stirling Palace is one of the finest examples of Renaissance elegance in Scotland. Built in the 16th century by King James V. This was a golden age. Art, music, and learning flourished. You enter the king's inner courtyard and stop in quiet awe. The facade is made of warm yellow sandstone. Hundreds of carved statues cover the walls. Kings and queens, mythical figures, gods and goddesses, each one unique, each one detailed. Sunlight touches the stone. The figures seem almost alive, as if they might move or speak. You step into the great hall, a vast space. The ceiling is lined with wooden beams, painted a rich golden yellow. A guide explains softly, during restoration, traces of the original paint were found. The colors were carefully recreated, just as they were in the 16th century. The hall stretches nearly 40 meters long. This was the banqueting hall. Hundreds once gathered here, eating, listening to music, watching dancers perform. Kings used this space to impress their guests. You walk toward the windows. You look out. The view is breathtaking. Below lies the town of Stirling. Beyond it, wide plains and distant hills. In the distance, you spot Stirling Bridge, where William Wallace defeated English forces in 1297. You move into the Queen's inner chambers. The atmosphere changes. More private, more personal. The bedchamber has been carefully restored. A large four-poster bed, covered in velvet, gold-embroidered pillows, soft silk sheets. The walls are dressed in rich tapestries. The guide points gently. These tapestries were rewoven by hand. The originals were lost, but detailed records survived. It took 10 years to recreate them, thread by thread. You step closer. You see unicorns woven into the fabric, the symbol of Scotland. Gardens, flowers, trees, birds. The colors are deep and alive. You imagine the hands that once worked these patterns, the patience, the care, the quiet devotion. Your breathing slows. History feels calm here. Still. Waiting. You enter the royal chapel. Small, yet deeply majestic. The ceiling is painted deep blue, scattered with golden stars. Colored light drifts softly through stained glass windows. Stone columns rise slender and graceful. This is the place where a 9-month-old baby was crowned Queen of Scotland in 1543. Mary, the same Mary who later became Queen of France, returned to Scotland and met a tragic fate. You stand before the altar. Silence surrounds you. A feeling of holiness lingers in the air. For centuries, prayers were whispered here. Tears were shed. Joy was celebrated. In the afternoon, you walk along the castle ramparts. The view opens in every direction. A full circle of history. In one direction, you see the Wallace Monument, a tall, slender tower on the hill, honoring William Wallace, Scotland's freedom fighter. In another direction, the plains of Bannockburn stretch out. Here, in 1314, Robert the Bruce defeated the English army, one of Scotland's greatest victories. Every direction tells a story. Every hill remembers a battle. Every valley carries a legend. The wind blows gently, lifting your hair, your eyes half close. As you take a deep breath, this place is not only beautiful, it is sacred. Scotland's spirit lives here. As evening falls, you descend into the town. Stirling Old Town still holds its medieval charm. Narrow streets, stone buildings, small shops glowing warmly. You enter a pub. Inside, it is cozy and welcoming. A fire crackles in the hearth. Old Scottish weapons and photographs line the walls. You order a traditional stew. Lamb, vegetables, herbs. Fresh bread on the side. As you eat, you watch the room. Locals talk softly, laugh quietly. In the corner, someone plays the bagpipes. Slow, gentle, melancholic. An elderly man approaches. "Did you see the castle?" he asks. "Yes," you reply. "It's magnificent." He smiles. "I was born here. I've lived here 70 years. Every morning I see the castle from my window. And every morning, I'm still in awe." There is pride in his eyes, and a touch of sadness. "Scotland has lost many things," he says. "Its independence, its kings, its language, but it never lost its soul. That soul lives in these stones, these castles, these people." That night, you stay in a small hotel. Your window faces the castle, illuminated in soft golden light. Mystical, timeless. You lie down in bed, tired, but peaceful. Today you saw a palace, but more than that, you saw the heart of a nation. Stirling is not just stone and mortar. It is memory. Every wall a story. Every tower a dream. Your eyes slowly close. Outside, an owl calls softly. The wind whispers. In your dreams, golden halls glow. Unicorns run free. Bagpipes echo across the hills. And the castle rises higher and higher into the night sky. Good night, dear traveller. Scotland's castles hold you gently, now and always. In the early morning hours, you leave Stirling behind, heading east, toward the coast of Fife. Along the way, you cross the wide estuary of the River Forth. Ahead of you rises the Forth Bridge, red steel, a quiet masterpiece of Victorian engineering. Light mist drifts gently around it. By late morning, you arrive in St. Andrews, a small university town, by the sea, timeless. Your first stop is the Old Course, the oldest golf course in the world. For more than 600 years, the same land, the same game. Green grass stretches all the way to the sea. The wind is gentle. Flags move slowly. Even if you don't know golf, The atmosphere draws you in. People walk quietly, carrying their clubs, hitting soft shots. Some are serious, some are simply enjoying the moment. Birds wander across the grass. You arrive at Swilcan Bridge, a small stone bridge, in front of the 18th hole. You stand on it. You look around. The sea, the green fields, old stone buildings, a deep sense of calm. You walk into the town centre. The ruins of St. Andrew's Cathedral rise before you. Once, this was the largest cathedral in Scotland, built in the 12th century, destroyed during the Reformation in 1559. You walk among the ruins. Only walls remain, arches, empty window frames. The sky appears through the stone. Clouds drift slowly past. You climb St. Rule's Tower, a narrow, spiral staircase, 156 steps. At the top, the wind greets you. The view is breathtaking. On one side, the ocean, deep blue. On the other, the town, red rooftops, church towers, golf fields, soft hills in the distance. The wind touches your face. Your hair moves gently. Seagulls pass close by. You stand here, just looking. Time fades away. Next, you walk to St. Andrew's Castle, perched on the edge of the cliffs, overlooking the sea. The most intriguing part is the underground tunnels, dug in the 16th century during a siege. You descend into the tunnels, dark, damp, narrow. You move forward with a small light. Stone walls, bare rock. You lower your head as you walk. 500 years ago, people were here. They dug. They sweated. Some may have died here. When you step back outside, sunlight fills your eyes. Fresh air fills your lungs. You are alive. You are free. In the afternoon, you head south to the small village of Falkland. It feels like a medieval story. Cobblestone streets, whitewashed houses, flower pots on the windowsills. Falkland Palace stands at the center of the village, once a hunting lodge for Scottish kings from the 16th century, a blend of French and Scottish elegance. As you step inside, you are surprised. Simple from the outside, but inside, quiet beauty surrounds you. The royal chapel is decorated with gold leaf. The ceiling is carved and colorful. Wooden panels line the walls. Light filters in through stained glass windows, casting soft rainbow colors across the floor. In the tapestry gallery, massive wall hangings cover the walls. They show hunting scenes, mythological stories. The colors are still vivid, as if they were woven yesterday. But the biggest surprise waits outside, in the garden. The Royal Tennis Court, the oldest tennis court in the world, built in 1539. Here they played real tennis, the ancestor of modern tennis. The court is enclosed, with walls on all sides, and it is still in use today. You walk through the gardens, tulip beds, hedges trimmed into geometric shapes, fountains murmuring softly. Bees hum, butterflies drift through the air. You sit on a bench and rest in silence. As evening approaches, you travel north into the region of Angus. And there it is, Glamis Castle. This castle is different. Turrets, towers, chimneys reach toward the sky. Pink grey stone, pointed roofs. It looks like something from a fairy tale, and yet it feels mysterious. Glamis is known as the most haunted castle in Scotland. You step inside. The tour begins in the crypt. Stone walls, low ceilings, dim light. The guide speaks softly. This is Duncan's Hall. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, King Duncan was murdered here. Historically incorrect, but the legend is powerful. You walk into Duncan's Hall. Dark, ancient, the oldest part of the castle, from the 11th century. The air is cold. A chill runs through you. The guide mentions the secret room. Somewhere in this castle, there is a hidden room. Only the Lord of Glamis and his heir knew its location. Inside, a terrible secret is said to be kept. An earl's ghost is trapped there. As you walk the corridors, do you hear something? Footsteps? Or just imagination? Did a shadow move in the corner of your eye? You're not sure. You enter the drawing room. Bright, elegant. Portraits line the walls. One painting draws your attention. The Grey Lady, the chapel's ghost. She is said to appear, kneeling in prayer. You look at the portrait. For a moment, it feels like her eyes are following you. As the sun sets, you leave the castle. You turn back for one last look. The windows reflect the evening light. The towers form dark silhouettes against the sky. Did you see a white figure in one of the windows? Or was it only a curtain? You smile, even if you don't believe in ghosts. This place is undeniably magical. That night, you stay in a small nearby inn. For dinner, you enjoy local Scottish salmon with a light grape sauce. For dessert, carnation, raspberries, oats, honey. Lying in bed, you think about the day. Golf courses, cathedral ruins, ancient tennis courts, haunted castles. So much variety. Your eyes grow heavy. Outside, the wind moves softly. The curtain stirs. In your dreams, golf balls fly. Stone arches rise. Hidden rooms open. And the grey lady dances slowly. You wake up early in the morning. The day feels quiet, full of promise. Today, a very special journey awaits you northward to the Orkney Islands. The northernmost islands of Scotland, where the Atlantic Ocean meets the North Sea. You drive toward Scrabster Harbour. This is where the ferry departs. You step aboard the ship. The engine hums softly, and the ferry slowly pulls away from the shore. You stand on the deck. The wind is strong, cool, and salty. It gently tosses your hair. Seagulls follow the ship, gliding above the crests of the waves. The sea is lively, the boat gently rocking. And yet, you feel calm, content. After 90 minutes, mainland Orkney appears on the horizon. Flat, green islands. An endless sky stretching wide above them. You arrive at the harbour. The town of Stromness welcomes you. Stone houses, narrow streets, small fishing boats. Everything feels quiet, peaceful. Your first stop is Skara Brae, one of the best preserved Neolithic settlements in the world. You walk along the shore. The wind continues to blow softly. And suddenly, there it is. Stone houses, 5,000 years old. Around 3000 BCE, people lived here. In 1850, a powerful storm swept the sand away and revealed the village. Until then, it had been completely hidden, sleeping beneath the earth. You peer inside the homes. Stone beds, stone shelves, stone hearths, everything made of stone, even the furniture. Because on Orkney there were no trees. You pause inside one house. Through the windows you can see the sea. Just like the families who lived here 5,000 years ago. They once looked through these same openings. Children played here. Mothers prepared food. Fathers went out to fish. A strange, gentle feeling rises inside you. As if time has faded away. You feel connected to those people. We are all the same human beings, only living in different moments. In the afternoon, you travel to the ring of Broja. In a wide open plain, beside a quiet lake, a massive stone circle stands. 60 stones, some rising over 15 feet tall, placed here 4,500 years ago. Why? How? No one knows for sure. You stand at the center of the circle. The wind moves through the stones. That is the only sound, along with distant birds. You reach out and touch one of the stones. Cold, solid, and somehow alive. Centuries of wind and rain have shaped them, yet they remain standing. You close your eyes. You imagine 4,500 years ago, hundreds of people moving these stones together. Ropes, logs, human strength. But why? A ceremony? A calendar? A sacred place? A gentle shiver moves through you, as if the stones are whispering ancient wisdom, forgotten stories. You open your eyes. The stones stand silently once more, but the whisper remains, soft, lingering, as you slowly drift deeper into rest. You arrive at Meisho, a Neolithic burial chamber. From the outside, it looks like nothing more than a grassy mound. Simple, quiet. But when you step inside, it feels extraordinary. You move forward through a narrow passage, slowly, almost crawling. The air is cool, dark, slightly damp. Then you reach the central chamber. A vast room built from enormous stones. The ceiling rises nearly 13 feet high. The walls fit together perfectly. No mortar at all. The stones are cut so precisely that not even a knife blade could slip between them. The guide speaks softly. Once a year, on the winter solstice, as the sun sets, its rays travel through the corridor and light up this chamber. It has happened this way for 5,000 years. You notice carvings on the walls, but these are not Neolithic. They are Viking runes. In the 12th century, Vikings entered this tomb and left their words behind. Ingihorg is the most beautiful woman to open this place. These are runes. "800-year-old graffiti inside a 5,000-year-old tomb. History layered upon history, time resting gently on itself." That evening, you return to Stromness. You have dinner at a small seafood restaurant. Fresh shrimp, lobster, scallops, the taste of the sea, salt on your lips, a sip of chilled white wine. You look out the window. The sun is setting, but this is the far north in summer. The sun barely disappears at all. Twilight stretches on for hours. The sky turns lavender. The sea becomes silver. You walk along the harbor. Old stone houses, fishing sheds. A man repairs his nets, his face lined by wind and sun. "Beautiful evening," he says. "Do you like Orkney?" "Very much," you reply. "It feels like another world." He smiles. "It is another world. Time moves differently here. Past and present blend together. Sometimes, when I wake in the morning, I feel the Neolithic people beside me." Kings and storms. The next day, you travel even farther north, to the Outer Hebrides, to the Isle of Lewis. A long ferry journey. The sea is rough. Waves crash against the bow. Spray flying into the air. Some passengers feel unwell, but you remain on deck, enjoying the wind. You arrive at the harbor of Stornoway, the island's capital. Only 6,000 people live here. Everything feels quiet, unhurried. You rent a car and drive west. The landscape is wild and sparse. Peat bogs, low shrubs, a few scattered sheep, an endless sky, clouds racing overhead. You arrive at the Callanish Standing Stones. And your breath catches. A 5,000-year-old stone circle, but unlike any other. The stones form a cross shape. 13 stones in the central circle, with 4 long arms stretching outward. Tall, slender stones, some rising over 16 feet high. You walk among them. The wind howls. Clouds race across the sky. Light and shadow constantly shift. Bright one moment, dark the next. The stones shimmer silver, covered in pale lichen. Some lean, some stand straight. Each one feels different, each with its own presence. You stand beside the central stone. You place your hands upon it, cold, and yet you sense something, a vibration, or perhaps just imagination. No one else is here, only you, the stones, the wind, and the vast sky. You close your eyes. You surrender to the silence. Your thoughts soften. Your mind empties. You simply exist in this moment. Suddenly, the sun breaks through the clouds. Light strikes the stones, and they begin to glow. Warmth touches your face. You open your eyes. This feels like the most beautiful moment in the world. That evening, you visit Karloway Broch, a 2,000-year-old Iron Age tower. The stone tower is round, built with double walls. Inside, a narrow spiral staircase winds upward. You climb slowly. It is tight, dark, quiet. Then you reach the top. The wind is so strong, it almost knocks you off your feet. You hold on tightly, and then you see the view. The ocean stretches in every direction. Rolling waves, white foam, deep blues and greens. Distant islands resting on the horizon. This was once a defensive tower. When danger came, people took shelter here. They brought their animals, their food. They stayed for weeks at a time, safe within these walls. "2,000 years ago, someone stood right here, looking out at the sea, perhaps filled with fear, searching for enemy ships, or perhaps with hope, waiting for fishing boats to return. That night, you stay in a small bed and breakfast. Your host is an elderly woman. She speaks Gaelic. Her voice soft and musical. She prepares a traditional Scottish meal for you. A lamb stew, slowly cooked over a peat fire. After dinner, you sit by the fireplace. The fire crackles gently. The room glows with warm light. The woman tells you stories of selkies, seals who become human, of fairy hills, of creatures that live beneath the sea. There is magic here, she says softly. The stones are alive. The sea speaks. The wind sings. If you listen, you can hear it. Your eyelids grow heavy. The firelight soothes you, warms you. When you go to bed, you look out the window at the sky. The stars are incredibly bright. So many of them. The Milky Way flows overhead, like a silent river of light. As you drift into sleep, in your dreams, the stones begin to dance, circles slowly turning. The wind sings ancient songs. The sea whispers softly. And you rest deeply, peacefully, carried by the rhythm of an older world. Your breathing slows. Each breath softer than the last. No effort needed, just allowing. Your body feels heavy now, supported, safe, resting exactly where it is. The images begin to fade. Stones, sea, wind, all gently dissolving into darkness. Thoughts drift away on their own, like clouds moving across a night sky. You don't follow them. You don't hold them. Only the rhythm remains. Breath in, breath out. Slow, steady. You sink deeper and deeper into quiet. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be. Sleep arrives naturally, like a warm tide, like a soft blanket. And you rest fully, deeply, peacefully.